Okay, good morning class. So today we're looking at paper 1, the grade 11 exam of 2021. Morning boss.
The other boss needs you
Okay.
for papers. And if you're able,
Sorry about that. So we're looking at question 4, is that correct? So here we are told that what was the original price of the car if it was worth 165,000 Rand after 6 years and depreciated on the reducing balance method at the rate of 9.5% per annum. So they want to know the P value. Not so on the reducing balance method, so I use the formula. A is equal to P into 1 plus, the 1 minus I to the exponent N. Okay, so what's your A value? 165,000. P what you're calculating, 1 minus I, which is 0.95, 0.095 to the exponent 6. And remember you want P on its own. So I divide both sides by 1 minus 0.095 to the exponent 6. This cancels, not so. So therefore P is equal to, work that out, 165,000 over 1 minus 0.095 to the exponent 6. Gives you 300,000, 325 Rand and 68 cents. Okay. See any confusion there? Of course, that's in the rands. So in 4.2, we are told that Z is offered an interest rate of 30% per annum compounded quarterly by a bank. Calculate the effective annual interest rate on the investment. People, all these formulas must be memorized. So 1 plus I effective equals 1 plus I to the M over M to the M. So your effective interest is what we're calculating. So 1 plus IE is equal to 1 plus 0.13 compounded quarterly to the 4th. You punch it in the calculator. It's going to be 1 plus, sorry, bracket first. 1 plus 0.13 over 4 to the exponent 4. Then a minus 1 from it. Now that is IE. Not so, but they wanted the rate. So multiplied by 100. So it's 30.65%. Okay. Next one, 4.3. Just like a timeline question. Yep, timeline. We're going to tell that Joseph's saving for his son's first year university. He deposits 8,000 Rand and then adds another 10,000 Rand 38 months later. So initially, or at the beginning, he puts in 8,000 Rand. Now 38 months is how long? 36 would be 3 years, no? 38 months, so you divide by 12, it's going to give you 3 and 1 over 6. Remember that this is your time in years, okay? He adds a further 10,000 Rand. How much will he have in his account at the end of 5 years? If the interest is calculated at 7% per annum, compound monthly for the first 3 years. So that is T3. It's going to be at the end of 5 years, if the interest is calculated at 7.5% per annum, compounded monthly for the first 3 years, then increase to a daily interest rate of 8%. So daily, how many days in the year? 365. Okay, you all agree with that? Alright, so there's many ways of calculating this timeline. And what I'm finding the easiest at this point is taking it to the end, using one value to the end. So what you got is the A total is basically P into 1 plus I to the exponent n, since it's compound interest. So of course A total, I'm going to consider 8,000 rand. What happens? It's going to pull an interest of 7.5% per annum, compounded monthly, and then 8% per annum, compounded daily. Okay? So it's going to be 8,000 into 1 plus 0.075 over 12 to the exponent 12 times. And how many years is this for? 5 years. Into 1 plus 0.08 over 365 to the exponent 365 times. And how many years is this for? 2 years. Okay. Then we got 10,000 rand to the end. Not so. At the interest rate of 8% compounded daily. So I say 10,000 rand into 1 plus I, which is 0.08 over 365 to the exponent 365 times. Now, how much time is it in years? From 3 and 6 to 5. I'm going to say it's 1 in 5 over 6. No? Let me just check. It's 5 minus that answer that we calculated is, whoops, one in five over 6 is correct. Okay. So from here, we just do the substitution into the calculator. We punch it in the calculator, so it's 8,000. Yes?
12 times 5, it's supposed to be 12 times 3.
Yeah, I think in the Memo I've worked it out in parts. Okay, just check if my answer is correct, otherwise I need to check. Okay? So it's going to be 8,000 into 1 plus 0.075 over 12 to the exponent 12 times. You're alright, it must be 3. Because I grounded here at 3.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michael. Times 3 into 1 plus 0.08 over 365. Did I do this method in the Memo as well? Okay. To the exponent 365 times 2 plus 10,000 into 1 plus 0.08 over 365 to the exponent 365 times the answer that we calculated in the previous calculation. Gives you 23,000. Is that correct? 23,327 rand. 327 rand and 97 cents. Okay. Let's carry on. Alright, so in 7.4 we are told that Tatum invests RX into a fixed deposit which pays an interest at 10% per annum compounded monthly. So another timeline question. So 2 timeline questions in this exam. Okay. So you see invests RX rands into a fixed deposit. So that is RX at T0. And the fixed RX into a fixed deposit which pays 10% per annum compounded monthly. So that's a straight interest, a flat interest rate, not so. So the interest here is 10% throughout the duration of investment. Compounded money. After 3 years, she withdraws half the money. So T3, she withdraws half what is in the account. Okay? At the time. She leaves the remaining money in the account for a further 2 years. So it takes you to T5. At which time there is 15,000 Rand in the account. Calculate the value of X. Okay. So again, the formula, same as the previous formula. A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent n. Alright, so let's go here. It's going to be difficult to apply this method here, which I did here to this, because we don't know how much is in the account at that point to the end. Okay, so what I say is I'm going to work this out till here. So you then say A is equal to P, which is X into 1 plus I, which is 10%, so 0.1 over 12 to the exponent 12 times 3. Not so. But what happens at that point? They draw half of the money. Not so. And that now becomes a principal for the remaining time. Okay, which now gives us times 1 plus 0.1, sorry, over 12 to the exponent 12 times 2 years. And that gives us an answer of 15,000. That's the amount that's in the account at the end of the 5-year period. Okay. So let's go. That would be, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 as to get rid of the denominator here. So I got x into 1 plus 0.1 over 12 to the exponent 36 times 1 plus 0.1 over 12 to the exponent 24 is equal to 15,000 Rand. So how do I get 15 times 2, sorry, which is 30,000. So how do I get x on its own? I divide both sides by this interest factor here. Okay, so it's 1 plus 0.1 over 12 to the exponent. What's 24 plus 36? 60. Let's go with 60 both sides. So it's 1 plus 0.1 over 12 to the exponent 60. Why can I do that? Because the bases are the same. If I multiply, I add the exponents. Not so. So therefore x is equal to, of course you put that in the calculator, it's going to be 30,000 over 1 plus 0.1 over 12 to the exponent 60. Gives you 18,200 and 33 Rand and 65 cents. 66 cents. That's in there. Is that correct? Yeah. Look at question 5. In question 5, we are told that you are given f of x is equal to 2x squared. Let's see how much time is left. 8 minutes. Oh, maybe it is 4. So f of x is equal to, so let's just draw. F of x is equal to 2x squared minus 6x minus 20. Whilst g of x is equal to mx plus k. We are also told that CF is parallel to the y-axis, or they could have said it's perpendicular to the x. And CF is 12. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this over so that you can have more What's going to work with? Space. Right, let's look at the first question. The question says write down if in the form of. Okay, so in other words, you must write it in the form of y is equal to a into x minus b squared plus q. That is in completing of the square form, not so, or the turning point form. So, what do we do here? F of x, of course, is defined as 2x squared minus 6x minus 20. Is that 4? 6, no? So what I do is I take out 2 as a common factor. I get x squared minus 3x minus 10. So we say, okay, we must add something to complete the square with, and I subtract that same number. So it's going to be 3 over 3 times half, which is 3 over 2, and it must be squared, which is 9 over 4. Which now gives us 2 into x minus 3 over 2 squared minus 49 over 4. If you can't do that in your head, you do it on the calculator. Okay? Multiply that in. So it's going to be 2 into x minus 3 over 2 squared minus 49 over 2. Which means to say that this point here is 3 over 2 and negative 49 over 2. Okay, I'm just going to write this in here. So f of x is equal to 2 into x minus 3 over 2 minus 49 over 2. Just in case I need that later on. Okay. As you can see, I need the space here. So I want to keep the diagram in focus. Okay. (5.1.2). Am I missing something? No. 5.1.2. Okay, 5.1.2, 5.1.3. We are told that the coordinates of A. So what is A, people? What is A to us? X-intercept. How do you calculate x-intercept? Y equal to 0. Is the x-intercept of the parabola and the straight line. Since we don't have the equation of the straight line, we're not going to use a straight line. Okay? So, for x-intercept, we let y equal to 0. So we've got 0 is equal to 2x squared minus 6x minus 3. I could have used the completing of the square form as well. Okay, so I divide by 2. So I get 0 is equal to x squared minus 3x minus 10. Now if you use the quadratic formula, you could have substituted that into quadratic formula already. If you use that silver calculator, that white one now, you could have subbed it in already. Okay. So we've got x and x, 5 and 2, minus plus. So x equal to 5 or x equal to negative 2. Why is there two solutions? 2 points of on the x-intercept. So that is 5 and this is negative 2, of course. So therefore, A is negative 2 and 0. In B, they ask you the coordinates of C. What is C? It's also the points of intersection of F and G. But do I have the equation of G? No. So I must do it some other way. But what we notice here, we are also told that CF is 12. So what is the coordinates of C? X and? Isn't that on the negative part of X or Y axis? So it's negative 12. Can you see that? Since we have the equation of the parabola, I'm going to substitute X and negative 12. So I'm going to substitute C, which is x and negative 12, into f of x. Remembering that's a x and a y. So we've got negative 12 is equal to 2x squared minus 6x minus 20. So 0 is equal to 2x squared minus 6x minus 8. No? Right. Divided by 2. So 0 is equal to x squared minus 3x minus 4. Again, trinomial. X and x, 4 and 1. minus plus. So x equal to 4 or x is equal to minus 1. Why is there two solutions? Because somewhere along this curve, okay, the distance of 12 is evident somewhere outside as well. And as you can see, it's going to be at negative 1. And as you can see, it makes sense. Not so? So which one of the two is it? There has to be the 4. You all agree with that? Therefore, C is going to be 4 and negative 12. Okay. Alright, let's look at the next question. I want to know the value for K. M and K. Whatever we calculated so far is on the diagram. So let's look at number 4. Number 4, we are told the value of M and K. People, M and K belongs to the G of X graph. Can you see that? So, how do we calculate M? M is your gradient, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, if you look at this here, C is 4 and negative 12, not so. And the other point is A, which is negative 2 and 0. Remember, when we're calculating a straight line, we need two coordinates. We need the angle of inclination and a point, or we need a gradient and a point. Not so? So if this is x1, y1, this is x2, y2. So we say 0 minus plus 12 over minus 2 minus 4. So it's 12 over negative 6, which is negative 2. You see the negative gradient. On the other hand, so your equation now reads y is equal to negative 2x plus c. Now in order to calculate c, I must substitute one of the 2 points in that lying on this graph. So we substitute a